All right, everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready to dive in.
Today, we're looking at something really cool, how one tech company managed to build this amazing team of specialists.
From across the globe, no less.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. They basically created a dream team, and it all started with this super interesting case study about the recruitment campaign.
Sounds intriguing. What kind of tech are we talking about?
Well, their bread and butter is VoIP.
Voice over IP.
Exactly, making phone calls over the internet. But their real specialty is WebRTC. Think, like Zoom calls or Google Meet.
Ah, got it. That tech that lets you just pop open a browser and have a video chat without any special software?
Yep, that's the one. And this company, they're like the heavy hitters in this space. Leading provider, awesome tech, and wait till you hear their product names. We're talking Sword, Trident, Hydra.
Whoa, seriously. That's quite a statement. Makes you wonder if they have a Kraken in the works.
Right. They're going for that powerful, almost mystical vibe. But to conquer the VoIP world, they knew they needed to expand. Fast.
Ambitious.
Totally. Multiple countries, new markets, the whole shebang. But to pull it off, they needed a killer team.
Makes sense. Expansion always needs talent. What were they looking for?
Okay, so picture this. 5 business development managers, plus 1 customer success manager. And they had 15 weeks to find them.
15 weeks. Okay, that's not a lot of time, especially when you're talking about specialized roles. And finding good sales folks is tough enough as it is.
Right. Now imagine needing those salespeople to also be experts in WebRTC.
Oof. Yeah, that's another level. It's not just about knowing how to sell. They needed people who could really get into the nitty-gritty of the tech itself.
Exactly. They needed people who could talk tech with the engineers, then turn around and explain it all to potential clients in a way that made them see the value. So, a unicorn or two.
For sure. Someone who can bridge that gap between the technical side and the business side is super valuable.
Absolutely. So how'd they do it? They brought in a recruitment firm, the Sales Experts Ltd, and these guys, well, they had a plan, a 3-step plan, to be exact.
Ooh, I love a good plan. Lay it on me.
Step 1, they built this massive global talent pool.
Ah, so casting a wide net to start.
Wider than wide. Think like an international spy network, but for recruiting tech wizards.
I like it. Scouring every corner of the globe. How'd they actually do that, though?
Well, online platforms were a big part of it, naturally. But they also tapped into their existing networks. Plus, they went to all the big industry events, conferences, meetups, those kinds of things.
Smart move. Networking's always key in this kind of field. But just finding people isn't enough, right?
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
And that brings us to step 2, making sure they found the right people, not just any people.
The ever-important cultural fit. You can have someone with all the right skills in the world, but if they don't mesh with the company's values and way of working, it's just not going to work out long term.
Right, so how do you figure out who's a good fit? Especially when you're looking at candidates from all over the world.
Well, this is where the sales experts really shined. They ditched the generic mass emails and focused on personalized engagement.
No more, dear sir, madam, we have an exciting opportunity kind of thing.
Nope, they did their research. They looked at each candidate's background, experience, even their LinkedIn profiles, and crafted messages that were specific to each individual.
So, if someone had worked on a really cool WebRTC project in the past, they'd highlight that and tie it back to what the company was doing.
Exactly. Show the candidate that they'd really taken the time to understand them. It's all about building that personal connection.
And I'm guessing that paid off.
It did. Candidates were more receptive. They could tell this wasn't just some random job blast. This was a company genuinely interested in them and what they brought to the table.
So they found all these awesome people, but they had to narrow it down somehow.
Yeah, they started with a whopping 1,438 potential candidates.
Can you imagine sorting through all those resumes and applications?
It was a multi-stage process. Initial screening, then more in-depth interviews, skills assessments, the whole 9 yards.
They really put these folks through the ringer. We're talking 28 candidates went through the initial screening. From there, 40 candidates moved to the next stage.
Then another round narrowed it down to 54, and after all that, they found their 6 superstars.
6 out of nearly 1,500.
Yeah. And they weren't just looking at skills, remember? They wanted to make sure these 6 people would thrive in the company's culture.
A true dream team.
And that's the takeaway here. This wasn't just luck. It was a well-executed strategy. They knew what they wanted, they put in the work, and they found the perfect fit for their company.
And this is something that we can all learn from. whether we're looking for a new job ourselves or trying to build a team.
Exactly. Define your needs clearly. Do your research. Take the time to connect with potential candidates. Don't just focus on skills. Consider the cultural fit.
And remember, finding the right people is an investment. It takes time and effort, but the payoff, well, as this case study shows, it can be huge.
No doubt about it.
So, as you think about your own career or your own team, ask yourself, what qualities are non-negotiable for you? What would make someone truly stand out? And if you were building your dream team, who would you want on it? Think about it. Until next time, keep diving.